Hello, my name is Caitlin and I'm doing a Nouveau year. Welcome if you're new here. If you like content revolving around not buying a lot of new things, then subscribe, stick around. I recently had someone comment, Alexandra, thank you, asking me to try to dupe the Kaleidos Flower Punk Palette with some stuff in my collection, so that's what I'm going to do today. So let's go ahead and try to dupe this palette with stuff that I have in my collection. Just a fair warning, there's some like construction-y type stuff going on downstairs, so if you can hear it in the background, I apologize, but this is like my time to film, so hopefully it won't be too distracting. So in my collection video, I had also pulled out the Tiny Marvels palette and I made a comment about how I thought it was pretty similar. And what's a good way to show this? I feel like the vibes of it are pretty aligned, but it's definitely not like a shade for shade dupe. However, there are a couple shades that I think are like similar enough that I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out. And this palette is getting kind of old enough that the shadows are starting to get pretty fragile. So, alright, that kind of just like took a layer off, but I'm never gonna finish all of the eyeshadow, so I mean, it kind of sucks, but it's okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and set these off to the side. They're gonna serve for those. And as I was going through my collection, so I think I could probably dupe these shades in melt palettes. I recently like rearranged all my big melt palettes. I'll put the video link in the description if you want to watch me do that. So I think there's melt shadows that could do that, but then I also think that this top row in the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome is pretty good at that, so I'm going to take these out to serve for like the kind of pukey, grungy greens. And I don't think that shimmer, this like multi-chrome, is anywhere near that, so I'm not going to take that. So then for the shimmers, and then the teal. So this teal from the Adept like Superman palette is darker, but I think it's close enough that I'm okay with it not like matching completely. And then this shimmer also is pretty good for that teal shimmer. I just have the pink shimmer, which it's a pretty like basic pink. There's a little bit of a shift, like a little bit of a shift gold. But it doesn't have a lot of base pigment, so it's kind of like a toppery pink. So maybe even this other pink. Wow, I don't know if that's picking up at all. Oh, okay, so this has a little bit more gold in it. Okay, but for the green shimmer, this is the Adept one. This is the one from the Flower Punk. So I think this works quite well. Alright, I'm gonna see if I might have a lethal shade that might work. Okay, that's the Kaleidos. That's the lethal. The lethal has a little bit more base pigment. This might be the closest that I can get to. Okay, so I mean, just looking at them, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna go through and swatch them side by side. I'm gonna do the Kaleidos on the left and then what I picked out on the right. Okay, so even though some of them might not be exact, I mean, generally just looking at them, I think they're all pretty close. And I think the effect that you would get would be the same. So just to recap, I got 3 Adept shades, 2 from the Tiny Marvels, and 3 from the Natasha Denona Triochrome. So I think I struggled a bit with the pink. It was a little bit more difficult to find, but everything else, you know, I think I was able to find pretty easily. Hopefully this gives you some inspiration to look into your own collections. If there's an eyeshadow palette that maybe was limited edition and you didn't get a chance to get, look in your own collections and maybe you can pull from, you know, a couple different palettes that you have, and you will probably at least be able to achieve the same type of looks that you would have made if you were to have gotten that limited edition eyeshadow palette. Thanks for watching. I hope this was enjoyable for you. That's all I've got. Have a great one. Bye.